Russia has now invaded Ukraine. This is an international crisis which is affecting everyone around the world. Are we heading towards World War III, and are we heading towards a nuclear war? We're here on the streets of London to speak to people and get their views on how this will affect them in the future, and also can we achieve world peace? What's your name?
Victoria.
And where are you from?
Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine.
You're from Ukraine, yeah? What's the situation? How is it affecting your family and the people around there?
So we're from the west, so it didn't really affect us except for a couple missile fires, but the east is experiencing quite harsh impacts, and people are hiding in shelters, and due to these bombings they are losing their families, losing people at the front line.
It's a massive international crisis across the world. It's going to affect so many people.
Well, it's just scary because you never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, it's mad, honestly.
How do you think it's going to go in the future? What do you think is the next step? How do you think it's going to affect you and the lives of everyone across the world?
I'm a little bit scared for. I've got a couple friends over there, or haven't seen them in a while.
Ukraine?
Yeah. I went there a few years ago. I'm worried for them mostly. I don't think it will spread too far over this way, because but it is Russia in the end, and we can't ever know. But yeah, it's very scary.
Do you think it's leading towards a world war or nuclear war? How do you feel about it?
Well, essentially, I think that you're actually looking at the worst case scenario, and it would be a long time for us to actually get there, as opposed to for it to happen tomorrow, as it were.
And I know that nations don't really want to get involved because it will eventually lead to a World War III if they do. I don't think it will push past the Ukrainian borders, though. It will just mostly be that it will be a Russian-Ukrainian conflict, but nobody can help us, and that's the scary bit, because eventually we will run out of supplies and defenses.
Do you think that the media is twisting this in one way?
100%. 100%.
That's not helping the situation.
Not at all. They're actually inflaming and escalating it. And I think they're totally irresponsible.
A lot of people thought that, in World War I and World War II, things happened and mistakes were made, and then destruction occurred. And to be in 2022 and this kind of repetition of the same thing is going on, how do you feel about that?
It's just...
You think that we haven't learned from the past?
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are just repeating history again. And yeah, it's just... I don't even know what to say, really.
On February the 24th, 2022, the head of the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, made a statement. He said, "For many years I have warned the major powers of the world that they must heed the lessons from history, particularly in relation to the two catastrophic and devastating world wars that took place in the 20th century. In this regard, in the past, I have written letters to the leaders of various nations, urging them to set aside their national and vested interests in order to prioritize the peace and security of the world by adopting true justice at all levels of society." The head of the community, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the 5th Caliph Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, he lives in the UK. So he said for so many years, over 10 years, that if world leaders don't get together and actually, fight for justice and humanity and treat people equally, whether they're men or women, children, different races, then this is going to actually lead to these kind of issues, the tension between different countries, different people. So do you think that people need to wake up now in 2022 and understand that we need to unite and not divide each other? Do you think that's a big message that we need to do right now?
Absolutely. I'm surprised we haven't woken up already,
Do you think that we can ever go towards world peace? Or is this too much? Is this gone too far?
We're not gone too far. There's always hope, but we have a long way. We have a long way to go.
So comment below and let us know how this situation is going to affect you in the future, and should countries come together to unite once and for all for world peace.
Make sure to like, comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel and other channels for the latest content.